Thank you so much. There is nothing I like better than being with people in the south suburbs because they actually vote in primaries. And you know, there's so many parts of the county where they don't take this primary seriously. So it is a serious primary. We understand that the president doesn't have a challenge, but that doesn't mean that getting out a good vote isn't important because it shows the strength of the community and the strength of our support. So a good Democratic primary vote is important. Now, you know, I am Aurelia Pucinski, and some of you may have read that I actually told the Democratic Party and the Republican Party that they should not endorse in Supreme Court races. And I really believe that. The Supreme Court must be independent. A reporter recently said to me, oh, the Supreme Court, it's 4 Democrats and 3 Republicans. And I said, how sad that is. The Supreme Court should not be partisan. When you're a litigant at the Supreme Court level, you should be able to know that your justices are looking at the facts and at the law and not worried about party politics. So I believe that the party should not endorse candidates in Supreme Court races. But of course, I'm in the Democratic primary, so I'm happy to find Democratic voters, which is often hard to explain. I don't think it's inconsistent, but I wanted to make sure that you understood my position on that. I'm also not taking large contributions. We saw recently in a downstate campaign for Supreme Court, one of the candidates saw $4 million spent on a campaign in downstate Illinois for Supreme Court. $4 million. In this campaign, one of my colleagues in this campaign will spend more than $1 million. And I think that that's ridiculous. I have chosen a different path in my career. I've been a lawyer since 1976. I had a neighborhood law practice. I worked for the Small Business Administration. I was the clerk of the court. Many of you remember me in that role for 12 years. I've been out in communities. I've been to Hazel, Crest. I've been to Homewood. And so I'm very comfortable coming back to this community and asking people to vote for me for Supreme Court based on their understanding of my record of public service, commitment to this community, a high standard of ethics, hard work, and pretty much you see what you get. You know, I mean, this is who I am. So my name is Aurelia Pucinski. I've been a lawyer since 1976. Oh my God, 1976. And during the time that I've been on the court, I've been in felony court, in mental health court, adoptions, elections, and property taxes, and 10,000 order of protection cases, a call that I volunteered to hear. A very tough call, but one where you can get to see a judge that day if you are in crisis. It's the only place in the whole court system in Cook County where that day, if you walk into the courthouse, if you walk in at 4:29, you will see a judge. And a judge will listen to your side of the story, and if you are appropriate for an order of protection, you will get one. Now, it was in that role, hearing 10,000 orders of protection, that I designed the system to prevent extra violence to senior citizen victims of domestic abuse by providing additional services to them. And I'm happy to say that I just received an award from the Center for Disability and Elder Law for my work in trying to prevent senior citizens who were being victimized in property tax matters from losing their homes inadvertently for non-payment of property taxes. Because a lady came into my court, she had a $138,000 house. She was going to lose it for $600 in taxes because her niece, who was an airhead, forgot to pay the taxes. And this mature lady, who was alert but fragile, just didn't realize any of this. So I now have legislation that I've helped to develop in Springfield to stop that. I believe that judges should not make laws. So in that regard, I'm not an activist judge, but I do think that judges must be on top of the process to make sure that it's always fair, that it's always open, that it's always transparent, and that people, when they come in front of the judge, know that their side of the story has been heard and considered. That's the kind of judge I've always been, that's the kind of administrator I've always been, and on the Supreme Court, I would be able to blend my judge experience with my administrative experience for the good of this community. I ask you to support me. My name is Aurelia Pucinski, and my punch number is 102. Thank you very much.